PC fam, welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. We are here to talk playoff basketball. We know what's going on in the East. And tonight today we'll figure out the rest of what's going to happen in the West. I'm excited. I know y'all excited. Chill, are you excited for these playoffs?
Ox, man, yes, yeah. I'm hyped, Ox. I'm hyped. Word.
Yeah.
I'm definitely hyped, no doubt. Knicks in the East Finals, which is kind of wild too, Ox. Meaning, like, we celebrating the Knicks being in the NBA in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. So, right. I mean, it says a lot about what an organization is when you celebrate and get into the conference championship. Like, that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And like they in the streets of New York. I mean, they did the same thing a couple of years ago when they won. They did the same thing a couple of years ago when they won in the first round. So this is gonna be a series. I'm hype, Box. That's all I gotta say about that.
For sure.
Word.
Before we do get to that, y'all, just gotta put this in there. Yesterday, the W returned. So we're juiced about that. Also, there's more WNBA games today. Goat Wilson will be in the building today. So we go check out some of that. Last night, though, a player that got traded from the Aces to the Sparks had her Sparks debut and reminded us who she is. So the Golden State Valkyrie had their first game, their inaugural game last night, and they took on the Sparks. And Kelsey Plum did everything in her power to spoil that for them. And she was successful. Mm-hmm. She dropped a whopping 37. How do you feel about Kelsey and obviously her scoring ability?
Ox, we had a conversation a while about when you play on a certain team, your role could change, and with your role changing, we kind of forget what you are awesome at, and like we forget. Just so we clear, Kelsey Plum was the all-time leading scorer in college basketball history when she left Washington. Mm-hmm. She was nothing but a bucket getter. She was nothing. She led the country in scoring. She was a straight bucket getter. She gets to the Aces, and now I'm more of a distributor. I gotta get off the peel because I'm running with a bunch of ballers. I'm running with Asia Wilson now. Now she gets to Los Angeles, and it looks to me like the shackles are off. They gave her the ball and told her to go to work. I would not be surprised, Ox, and this might be a bit of a stretch or a hot take. I wouldn't be surprised if she led the league in scoring this year. That would not surprise me at all. I think that I'm going on record saying that Kelsey Plum is going to lead the league in scoring this year. She's going to win the scoring title. She's always been a bucket getter. Now, don't get me wrong. She can get hunted on defense, and, I mean, that happens. But she's always been a bucket getter. She's been a bucket getter. Her ability to, especially with the left hand, with her strong hand, she's got a money pull-up game. Not only does she have a money pull-up game, she creates so much space, how quick she is. And then last night, I know Valkyrie. I know the Golden State Valkyrie are a new team, but it's the W. So I'm not trying to hear none of that. So with that being said, she went to work on them last night. She 100% went to work on now. Ox, I'm not going to say that she averaging 37 a game this year. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far. But I 100% got her leading the league in scoring this year. I do. I think she's that good. And I think she gets back to who she was. I think she gets back to who she was as a bucket getter.
That's very, very possible. I could see that happening. We all know Kelsey Plum's a bucket getter. Like, yes, we can't. None of us can deny that. Another bucket getter. Nafisa Collier last night, the Minnesota Lynx took on the Dallas Wings and their number one draft pick, Paige Buckers. The Lynx won the game. I'm pretty sure we expected that. Courtney Williams had 25, and Nafisa dropped a 34 piece on them. So I'm pretty sure everybody's expecting Nafisa to have another monster year as well this year.
Paige is Paige. She looks like she's gonna get comfortable. Right. She looks like she could get her shot off. She looks like physically she can handle the competition. Now, don't get me wrong. She is going to get pushed around a little bit because she's a rookie. And that's what happens with rookies dealing with grown women. She just got in there. So she's going to have she's going to have her moments, and she's going to have her bumps and bruises. But I think she's going to be fine, Ox. What I like about her, and the little bit that I saw from Paige, was I like how she can get separation from people. The thing I worry about with her, like I said, I do think she's going to be fine. I do think she needs to bulk up just a little bit. I think she could put on a couple pounds, just a little bit.
I'm sure she will. But today, actually in an hour, the Las Vegas Aces will be taking on the New York Liberty. At 3 Eastern, we got the Chicago Sky taking on the Indiana Fever. And also later on this evening, at 10 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the Seattle Storm taking on the Phoenix Mercury. I think that's going to be a good game. The Phoenix Mercury did a lot this summer. I mean, the Phoenix Mercury, this offseason, not summer. This offseason, the Phoenix Mercury, they made a lot of big moves. So I expect to see a good game tonight, y'all. That's the W. All you hoop lovers, all you WNBA lovers, man, y'all check that out. Watch some basketball, man. That's one thing about basketball. It's a year-round sport. Year-round. We got it. We got it going.
Stop.
So I do before we do move on from the W, I want to ask you how you feel about so Kiki played last night, Paige played last night. All the new girls, the rookies, they just got out of season.
Literally.
And then you expect, and then with that being said, you expect the higher draft picks to Paige, like Paige and Kiki. You expect them to play heavy minutes. Cam Brink went down last year with that ACL, and she was expected to play heavy minutes with the Sparks. She played heavy minutes in college. Is there any? I mean, there's really no way around it though. Like their season over, and they go straight to it. What are your thoughts on that, just in general?
I think, to be honest with you, Ox, I do think it's a good thing off the strength that when I get right, I'm more prepared. In terms of basketball, I'm much more prepared to play basketball as opposed to where I have the NBA draft and then the training camp doesn't open until September. I get the summer league, but those guys in summer league aren't the guys that I'm going to see in training camp. When the season is over in college basketball, so you get the national championship, or even just the rest of the season is over. Then you got the draft, 2 weeks later? The draft is 2 weeks later after that, and then training camp opens up less than a month later. So I get to see these people. I get to see these women right away. I think it's good because I just came out of basketball. I haven't been just working out over the last 3 or 4 months. No, I've been playing basketball at a high level, and then now I move straight into professional basketball. I can appreciate the logic that you could hurt yourself, or it could be a lot of strain on your body, but that's part of being a pro. That's part of being a pro. That's part of being a professional athlete. That's part of being a pro basketball player. And I know that I gotta do the best that I can to take care of my body. I gotta do the best that I can to get the proper rest. You had said something to me a while ago, Ox, when we were talking about the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals, and how important rest is. And when you're young, you think you could just keep going. And young fella, go put your feet up, man. It's all right. Young fella, go sit down, man. Go put. It's okay when you got a day or two. Go put your feet up because we need you rested. Well, as a professional basketball player in the W, I think that's paramount when we're moving from the regular season into when we're moving from college right to training camp, right to the season. It's important for me to get the proper amount of rest, because if I don't, then I could risk getting injured.
Right. I think as humans too, like we're so accustomed to just moving around. I think we take for granted just walking in more than some ways. Like, I think first of all, I would say just from another point of view, if you ever, God forbid, if anybody ever loses the ability to move around, you know what I'm saying, walking just freely, people then they realize, oh man, walking was so important. But then in this point of view, what we're talking about now, people, I think what they take for granted how much it does for your body. You're actually working out, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you see older people, they're just taking walks in the morning, and it's man, they're still strong because they're walking. So when you're in a series or something, you don't understand, you're not running, you're not playing anymore, but that walking is putting a little, not strain, but it's strain, because you're still working out. You got to rest, you have to rest. Definitely.
It's interesting you bring that up, Ox. That's a part of my workout, and I don't run nearly as much as I used to. A lot of my workout is walking, power walking, and keeping myself in shape in that aspect. So that's real interesting you bring that up and how important that is.
Very important, y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all steps in, man. Even if you got to get one of those little apps, on the watch or your phone, man, get your steps in.
Yep.
I'll tell you every day. My wife, she always, I got this many steps in today. I got this many steps. Okay, I see you. Keep it up. We got some super chats, y'all. Let's get to these super chats real quick, and then we'll get to this NBA news. We got some interesting topics. Teddy Hart says, if OKC loses tomorrow, KD is coming back home. I Heart Wiggins plus topics for our topics and picks will get it done. We keep our core, and KD is plug and play, nearly guaranteed.
Sorry, Teddy Hart. First and foremost, that wound is still open and it's still fresh. That wound is not healed up yet. That's number one. Number two, what it's going to take to get KD is probably going to be. I feel like it's going to be too much. So if you lose iHeart, you lose Wiggins, and you Topic. I don't really. You already know how I feel about Topic. I'm a big Topic guy, but to lose iHeart and Wiggins for KD. Is that going to be enough? Is KD going to be able to get on the glass like that? Is KD at 37 years old going to be able to rebound like that? Be that interior presence that iHeart is? No. I think you're looking at KD as a bucket getter, which KD is one of the best bucket getters in NBA history. That part I'm not going to argue. But I think that wound is still fresh. I don't think Oklahoma City is interested in blowing up their core, guys on rook deals or short money deals. I don't think that they're interested in doing that for KD. No, they're not.
So if it just this right here, if it was iHeart, Wiggins, and Topic, that's all it took. I don't got to come off of J-Dub, don't got to come off of Chet, don't got to come off of Kaysen, Dort, Caruso. I'm pulling that plug. Because I do, and I understand. I believe iHeart is extremely valuable. But if we can find a rebounding big in free agency, a big that's a real rebounder though. You know what I'm saying? I would be interested in doing that just because of playoff time, getting buckets in the dead period. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's a period where we're having trouble scoring, I don't have to just rely on Shea. Sure. I don't know how if Shea is able to get those guys, involved in it or not. I know KD doesn't need that. That would be my only reason behind making that trade.
So if we're gonna do this, Ox, then this is what I need you to do, because I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that. Those draft picks are like a pile of cash over there. So I need you to give me of those draft picks. If you're giving me iHeart, you're giving me Wiggins, and you're giving me Topic, and I'm giving you KD, I'm not going to be good in Phoenix. So I need my draft picks back. And if I can't get my draft pick back, I need picks, right? And even though those picks that you have aren't really going to be that big of a deal because they late first round picks, I need like 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, I need at least 4 or 5 of them. Yes, I need the maximum. Like 2 or 3 ain't enough. I need 4. If Mikal Bridges went for 4 1s, Rudy went for 4 1s, KD, yeah, I need at least 4 of them at minimum. I need 4 of those. So
okay. Let's see. The art man, formerly known as Steve, says everyone counted us out. Detroit, a young scrappy team. Knicks in trouble. New York Knicks win. Celtics beat them 4 times handily. Knicks cooked. New York won. Now we can't celebrate making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. New York Knicks will win.
You can celebrate making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you were in trouble in that Detroit series. Don't make it sound like you just walked by Detroit in 4 games and it was nothing. No, but I mean, the Knicks are a good team. I don't think that there's anybody. I don't think that there's anybody who would say that the Knicks aren't a good team. I don't think that there's anybody would refute that. The Knicks are a damn good team. They got Cat, who we was talking about all year long, who could possibly be first team All NBA. I think Jalen Brunson is solidified as a second team All NBA guy. Josh Hart is one of the best dirty work guys in the league. And with him being one of the better dirty work guys in the league, now you get Thomas. Now I keep wanting to call this dude Thomas Robinson. It's Mitchell Robinson. I'm sorry, Ox, if I brought that up. Mitchell. Sorry. Yeah, my fault. It's Mitchell Robinson, one of the better dirty work guys in the league. This team is built on grit and grind, like they were last year. The difference was they broke down. This year, health has not been a problem, and because health hasn't been a problem, you've been able to see exactly who this Knicks team is. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's not a good team. This is a damn good team. It's just I didn't expect to see what I saw when it came to, especially considering what I saw in the regular season. They had gotten handled by the Celtics. They had gotten in the the Detroit Pistons came into Madison Square Garden, didn't beat y'all once, beat y'all twice in there. Beat y'all twice in Detroit. So, I mean, beat y'all twice in Madison Square Garden. And dealt with you guys in the regular season. So, I don't know. I'm not one of these people to just sit around and go, the Knicks are the favorites. Well, wait a minute, man. You guys had a good team, but these other teams were dangerous too. And you went up against the world champs who, for all intents and purposes, you handled them. You 100% did. And I couldn't have been more wrong about that. I 100%. I had them handling y'all dudes in 5 games. I did. And I couldn't have been more wrong about that. And I'm not one of these people up here saying, you know, they got decimated by injury. Y'all would have still beat them. If Jason Tatum had not gotten hurt in that game, y'all still would have beat them. So let's dead that logic right there. I'm not trying to hear that.
Definitely. Teddy Hart sent a follow-up super chat and says OKC owns 2027 Clippers pick, which in my opinion will be very valuable. Harden and Kawhi either gone or not good by then.
Two more years. Yeah, Harden to be 38 in 2 years. Yeah, I can't see. I can't see James Harden or Kawhi Leonard 2 years from now, you know, still being this team at 38 years old. James Harden on this crew, and they still being a viable contender. No, I can't see it. So that might be a good thing where that pick might turn into a top 10 pick, very much so. And I think it's interesting, Ox. Like your man in the chat said, you jinxed my Celtics. If I got that much power, I need to start tapping into that. I didn't know I had that much power. I did not. That I'm the one. If I got that much power,
the way Andrew G switch up on the Celtics, man. he got a lot of nerve saying that. The way he be switching up on his squad. Let me see from Sean. Oh, this is a good one. Especially this is a good one because I was pissed last night. But shout out to my patients for the second year in a row. Hibbs might want to tone down those starter minutes, or we're gonna run them ragged.
I thought Ox was going to jump through the screen last night. It's 5 minutes. They up by 35. Tibbs still got these dudes on the floor. Ox is like, what are you doing, Tibbs? Get these dudes off the floor. And not only did he still have those guys on the floor, Tibbs is on the sideline like he's still coaching his ass off. And I'm like, all right, Tibbs, I can appreciate the intensity 100%.
Right.
I can appreciate the intensity. I know you love your job, and I know you want to see your boys do good, but I think you got this one in the bag, Coach. It's cool. It's cool to come off of these. It's cool to come off of these. I think you got this one in the bag, yo.
I love the fact that Tibbs wants to coach for 48 minutes. I love that. Like don't let up. Respect your opponents and understand that these dudes are always dangerous.
Yes.
Jaylen Brown fouled out in the third quarter. All right. Derek White did not come to play basketball last night.
No, he did not.
The game was over. The game was over before halftime. You know what I'm saying?
I think we good, yo.
All right, Coach. You got Mitchell Robinson, one of the most injury-prone bigs that I've seen in a while. A very important part of your team out there with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, up 30-something. Jalen Brunson has rolled both ankles.
Not one of them. Both of them.
Both. And he rolled one of them the inside way, the other way. You know what I mean? Like, bro,
just a couple of days ago. Just a couple of days ago, he did that.
OG Anunoby has shown that that fatigue would put some strain on him. Hammies, things like that. Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges, man, them dudes all right. But still, like I'm taking them out too. But I understand you letting Mikal rock. Like come on,
Mikal over that. Yeah, Mikal over there, like, yo, don't take me out. I'm good.
Yeah, he was probably when they took him out, Mikal's probably like, come on, Coach, let me run, But I don't know. I'm just saying, like, this, and you could just see it in Tibbs' face. Like, he knows them dudes should be out the game, but the stubbornness, he's stubborn. He's a mule. He's just like, nah, this is what I do. I'm not supposed. I don't care what y'all say about me, man. Tibbs, you're crazy, and nobody got hurt. So obviously, I was stressing for no reason, but it's just.
But it ain't like we ain't seen it before, Ox. Because it ain't like we ain't seen it before, because we have seen it before, right? It's not like it's something where Tibbs won't leave you out there and something bad can happen, because we have seen it. But yeah, Coach, I and I'm sure that Brunson was over there on the bench and he was looking down at the bench at Jalen Brunson, and his pops was like, he is not going back in this game. No.
Hell no.
No.
You better not call his name.
No, he is
sir.
not going back in this game. No way.
No,
that's
sir.
not happening.
In some NBA news, looks like the Miami Heat are interested in Giannis Antetokounmpo. How do you like that?
Ox, I'm in the minority, and with me being in the minority, I know that the stuff that I say can be a bit of a hot take. Ox, you're 5-man, you got him in the draft. I think your point guard is in the draft too. I think that this new, I keep bringing this up, and I know it sounds like a broken record, but the CBA has hampered teams from putting together bomb squads. They've hampered them. So if you are if you are trading for Giannis, what you're going to have to do is, one, you're going to have to give up Bam. If I'm Milwaukee, I need Bam, maybe Wiggins. I need a bunch of first-round picks for the money to match up. But with that being said, this Miami Heat team, I mean, they won 37 games last year. I still think that they are viable with their 5-man. You got your 5-man in Ware. You got your 4-man in Bam. You got your small forward in Wiggins. You got your 2-guard. I think you're a lead guard away from really challenging, and I think that lead guard is in the draft. This is how we find out how good you are in GMing. You found Ware, so I'm pretty confident that you can find a lead guard too, whether he's in the Big Sky Conference or the West Coast Conference or he's in the MAC. He's somewhere. That lead guard is somewhere, because the CBA is not going to allow you to put together Wade, James, Bosh, KD, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. The league is not allowing that anymore. That's not happening anymore. Those days are over. So the days of building your team through the draft are going to become even more prevalent today than they were. So would I trade for Giannis? If it could get me, if I could keep the majority of what I have, then yes. But I don't think that I could keep the majority of what I have. I'm gonna have to come off a substantial amount of what I have, and I don't want to do that, Ox. I don't. I feel like we're building something in Miami. I don't think that you're that far away from really challenging in the East. You just got to go get a lead guard, and I think that lead guard is in the draft.
Right. Well, I mean, I can see that. I can see that. But what does that mean though for Giannis though? Like, do you think that Milwaukee can bring their team back to the draft, or is it time for Milwaukee to blow it up? Should they be looking to get off of Giannis, whether or not Miami needs him or not?
Well, I already said to you, Ox, that if I'm Milwaukee, I ain't trading Giannis. He got to ask out. And I've been hearing things. I've been hearing things like he's not particularly interested in playing for Pat Riley. Well, first of all, he ain't playing for Pat Riley. He's playing for Eric Spoelstra. That's number one. And number two, Giannis doesn't seem like the type of guy who would run away from hard coaching. In fact, it was him who wanted Nick Nurse, and he wanted Nick Nurse in Milwaukee when they ended up hiring Adrian Griffin. He wanted Nick Nurse. So he doesn't really strike me as the type of guy who will run away from, you know, hard coaching. Now, here's the thing, Ox. The thing is Giannis is 30 years old. He's in his prime. I think I got 4, maybe 5 more years left of Giannis at this level before he starts to slow down, right? So with that being said, my question is do I move off of him, or do I ask him, do you want to be around? I've already built this thing around you. We built this thing around you years ago, and we made it work. Are you interested in being around here for me to put it together again? Because if you're not interested in me building it around you again, okay, then I'll move off of you. No doubt about it. And I'll make this trade work for both of us. But they have shown that they will put a championship level team around him. Injuries decimated them. That was the problem. It wasn't that they made moves that were terrible. No, injuries decimated them. Now, they could have upgraded at the 5 spot. I'm not going to argue that point. Yes, they definitely could have upgraded at the 5 spot and done something to ensure that Brook Lopez, when he was on his way out, you had somebody to step in for him, right? So with that being said, which blows my mind, Ox, because Khalil Ware was right there in Indiana. Milwaukee is not that far from Indiana. If you're doing your homework, you trade up because that's your guy, and he can play behind Brook Lopez, and that's your 5-man for the future. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is Giannis has to ask out, and this is the plan moving forward. I've proven that I could build a unit around you. I've proven that I could build a championship unit around you and make small changes in order for us to be good. Now, here's the difference, Ox. Does this team survive on small changes, or is there something big that needs to happen? Because it's the people that are saying Giannis needs to get up out of there. Is Milwaukee looking at Giannis going, yo, we need to move on from him? Or are they looking at this going, we really just need to, because, we're losing Dame. That's a big deal. I mean, Dame's going to be out all next season, I think. So are they looking at this unit going, all right, it's time to blow this up? Because that's the $1 million question. I think that they are. I do. I think that I think that it has to be the right situation for Giannis, because I don't think that they're interested in trading Giannis. I think that if they are blowing this thing up, then it has to work for them. They're not just handing Giannis over for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack. They're not doing that.
They would have to get so many draft picks just to make sure, like, we have to hit on one of these picks, because when are we going to get another Giannis Antetokounmpo? Where can we find another Giannis? You know what I mean? Like, no trade as far as players is going to be an even trade. Yep. You're not going to get an even trade back with players that are available on this team. So you trade him, you need, an overhaul of draft picks. And on top of that, like you said, and I think it's common, we're not trading Giannis unless he comes in this room, in this office, and says, yo, I'm ready to go. If he doesn't do that, there's no chance we're trading Giannis Antetokounmpo.
She got to ask me for a divorce, Ox. I ain't breaking up with her.
Have to.
I'm not. She got to tell me she wants out.
Because I love it here.
I'm sorry. You got to tell me you want out, because I'm not breaking up with you. I'm not.
Right. Not happening.
And if you do that, I need to know why you got to break. Why you want to break up? Because I ain't just handing you over neither. Nah.
Look, I believe in therapy. We can do this. We can work it out.
Figure it out. We can figure this out, yo.
We can do it, man.
And the reason I'm saying that, and y'all think what Ox is talking about is funny, but let's be clear. Before Giannis, who did they have at the Giannis level? It was Jabbar. That was almost 50 years ago, right? That wasn't something that Giannis doesn't come along every 5 or 10 years. The last player that we had that was at Giannis's level was Jabbar, and that was over 50 years ago. Now you're telling me that I now have to go back out and hopefully find. And by the way, I got lucky with Giannis. I found him in the middle of the first round. Right? Wasn't like it wasn't like Ox introduced me to this chick on a whim. Like I wasn't even particularly looking for somebody. He like, yo, check my homegirl out, y'all. My girl know this chick, and next thing I know, I'm marrying this chick. Right? So I ain't gonna find nothing like this again. Probably not again in my lifetime. So I'm trying to hold on to this for as long as I possibly can. So Giannis is gonna have to ask out, and if he doesn't, I'm doing everything that I can to continuously build this thing around him, to keep him here and keep him happy. I'm not trying to move off from him. I'm not.
Another reason why you also have to get just a bunch of draft picks, more than seems fair, is because Milwaukee has seen it where they've drafted an incredible player and it didn't work out. Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker was an incredible basketball player, tore his ACL 2 times. And you know what I mean? Like, anything can happen. I believe Jabari Parker was going to be one of the best players in the league. You know what I mean? So Milwaukee has felt that heartbreak before. They can't just be like, okay, Giannis, here, go over here. We'll take this young player, give me a couple of draft picks. It's fair. No, you can't do that with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Not at all.
For those of y'all that don't know, just like to Ox's point, Giannis was insurance. Jabari was the guy. Like Giannis wasn't the guy that they drafted to be the guy. Giannis was the guy that he was a piece. They didn't know he was that good. Jabari Parker was supposed to be the guy. We didn't know that, he had bad wheels. We didn't know that. And they got lucky with Giannis. I'm not handing them over, Ox. I'm not trying to hear
definitely that. Not. Hell no. Another guy that just moved around, via trade, out of there now, Jimmy Butler. Yep. Jimmy Butler was asked pretty much, what is it that you need to work on this offseason? Like, what are you going to be doing? And he was pretty much saying, I'm going to become friends with my teammates, basically. You know what I mean? But I'll just read word for word what he said real quick. He said, more than anything, my main goal is getting to know my people. I mean it. If I can show them that I can be there for them outside of basketball, it makes a huge difference on the court.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about basketball.
Nope. I can appreciate that too, Ox. Yeah, I can definitely appreciate that.
Damn, I love that dude, man.
When you have that bond off the court, I mean, what I'll do for you, I'm actually coming on the court and I'm playing for you. I ain't just playing for me, right? Because we've created that bond off the floor where this is my man, this is my dude right here, and I'm rocking for him. And I'm not just, and not only am I rocking for him, that resonates throughout the rest of the crew, right? Because it's not just I'm rocking for him. I get close to the rest of the guys too, and we bring this unit together. And once we bring this unit together, I mean, anything can happen. And I can definitely appreciate Jimmy Butler having the attitude of wanting to get closer to his guys, to understand who they are, because you need to understand who you're going into battle with. You need to understand who you're going into the fight with, who is with it, who is not with it. Because, Ox, it's okay to say, this dude ain't with it. Maybe he shouldn't be here. Or this dude is with it, and I'm down to go into battle with him. Or this dude, I think he with it, but I'm not sure. He just maybe needs he maybe needs some reinforcement. Kind of like a prime example would be Jordan. Jordan found out that Scotty gets stronger when you stand next to him. That's who Scotty is. Scotty wasn't the guy who by himself he was, but when you stand next to Scotty, okay, Scotty gets stronger, which makes you stronger. And I think he found that out. Once he found that out, he was like, okay, now I got somebody to ride with. Well, Jimmy Butler, I think in the same aspect, the way that we find that out with these guys is when I'm off the court, I'm at your house, I'm having dinner with you, we hanging out, we're going places, and I'm getting to understand and get to know you even better. Once I do that, then I think that's how you build units. I could appreciate Jimmy Butler in that aspect. Yes.
Yeah, I think that goes a very long way. You live your life on the court the way you live your life off the court. You know what I mean? And you got when you got teammates that got your back. I don't know, anything, like, oh man, remember when he had something going on, he came and helped me move my couches and stuff like that, or my kids were, something happened in school and he asked his wife to go get them for me, or just things like that. Like that type of stuff people think isn't a big deal, but if I know that you've done these things for me off the court, you have my back, you held me down, you know what I'm saying, you came over when I was going through hard times, kicked it with me, watched the game or something, like that lets me know I can trust you. I trust you. And so when we're on this basketball court for 48 minutes, it's nothing I have to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to worry about nothing. When it's like, oh, you got to take care of this part of your game, I know I can believe in you because you've shown it, you proved it to me. So I think that type of stuff goes a long way, man. That's why I just love that mindset.
Word. Really do. I could get with that.
So before we move into the title of the show, I want to talk about tomorrow. I don't know how I got confused. I thought it was today, but that's my apologies, y'all.
No, you good. Tomorrow 3:30.
Yeah. So tomorrow we got the game 7, OKC versus Denver. So is this the first time, Chill, that we've seen two guys that are fighting for MVP? These are obviously the only two options for MVP this year. We know that. Shout out to Giannis. We know that these two guys are going to get MVP, right? One of them.
Yep.
When was the last time we've seen such an important game between the two MVP candidates?
So
game 7.
Ox, I was doing some homework. So in the last 30 years, right? Over the last 30 years, we've had 8 different league MVPs and runner-ups rock in the playoffs. So that's this year with both Joker and SGA. In 17 with Russ and James Harden in the first round. In 15, we got the Western Conference Championship between Harden and Curry. In 12, we had the NBA Finals with KD and James.
Yep.
In 11, we had Derrick Rose and James. And then we didn't get anything until 98 in the NBA Finals with Jordan and Malone. Then in 97 with Jordan and Malone. And then in 95, we had Lajuan and David Robinson. So we've had 8 different instances where we've had the league MVP and the runner-up battle in the playoffs, and it's significant. The last time I think with something this significant, I would have to say, to be honest with you, 97 with either 97 in the finals. Series is tied 2-2. Jordan is sick. Both Malone and Jordan are going at it in Salt Lake City, the flu game. I mean, I think that's a pretty big deal. Also, in 98, game 6. I mean, this is an elimination game in the NBA Finals between Malone and Jordan. And then also in 95 between David Robinson and Olajuwon in the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
I think those three, because Russ and James Harden, that was in the first round. The Warriors handled the Rockets in 15. I think they beat them in 5 games. I think they handled them pretty good, if I'm not mistaken.
So what about this right here? I see Randy said in the chat. What about in '93 with Barkley and Jordan?
I only went back 30 years. I didn't go back. That's further.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
a little bit
Okay.
further. Yeah, I only went back 30 years. So like I said, the Warriors and the Warriors and the Rockets, they basically handled them pretty good, right? They handled them pretty good. But to answer your question, I think 97 and 95, 96 and 98, 95, 97 and 98 are the 3 seasons that I'm thinking about are games that are as significant as this one right here. This is game 7 in Oklahoma City between the 2 candidates in NBA, between the 2 MVP candidates. And this is going to say a lot about each of these guys' legacy, because I can tell you right now, Ox, it's very much like the Super Bowl. What I mean when I say that is one of these guys' lives is going to change. One of these guys, we're going to look at one of these guys differently after this is over, whether it's if Joker wins and he moves on to the Western Finals, and if SGA wins and he moves on to the Western Finals and wins the league MVP. They haven't been, just so be clear, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they haven't been to the West Finals since 16. That was the last time they was there, when they lost to the Warriors. And this Nuggets team just won the NBA championship 2 years ago. So this game here, I feel like it's life-changing for these 2 guys, no doubt.
We've obviously, there's been a lot of talk about, how the awards are given out this year, and people think it's been too long or whatever. So it's not very consistent about when it comes out. Is this the reason why they're taking so long to announce the MVP? Because they were, maybe we're thinking we could get a game 7, and we got a game 7.
That's an interesting question, Ox, because I was also doing some homework, and I mean, Iverson was announced the league MVP. It was May 6th. May 6, 2001, he was announced league MVP. Same thing with Duncan. I want to say May the 12th, Duncan was announced league MVP in 2000. I want to say in 2002. So the league, but after that, I was doing some homework, Ox, and it seems like the league MVP is announced anywhere between, but with the exception of those 2 guys that I just brought up, the league MVP has been announced anywhere between the 19th and the 24th.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's where the league MVP is announced. Like, we know who's going to win it. So it's anywhere between the 19th and the 24th. But I think that it would be great. I think the NBA knows that, and I think that it's great for theater. So to see who, because I think the votes are already in. Let's be clear about that, Ox. I think the votes are already in, and I think we already know who. I think they already know who the league MVP is, and you can't change the votes. But I think it's great for theater if we have the league MVP announced. Let's say that the league MVP got announced today, and it was handed out like, okay, Shay's the league MVP, and then tomorrow afternoon, the league MVP is given to SGA. We got the press conference and everything for game 7. I think that would be great for theater.
Yeah,
I think that would be fantastic for theater. And one more thing, Ox.
Uh-huh.
I'm a big fan of these early games. And the reason why I'm a big fan of these early games, let's get it over with.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Like, why we got to wait till 8:30 tonight? Why we got to wait till 8 o'clock tonight? Let's get it on right now. Let's do it.
Man, I hear you. So with game 7 being in OKC, I would love for them to announce it today and give them the trophy before the game tomorrow.
That would be
I
dope.
would love that.
Oh my goodness.
that would be dope. That really would. And I mean, Shay's the MVP. Like, we all know Shay got it. You know what I mean? So if for some reason they waited till after tomorrow, and let's say that Denver wins tomorrow, and then we find out that Jokic is the MVP,
it's not a
that would just
That's not a
Play
coincidence.
tampering right there. We know what's
That's
happening.
not a coincidence. No,
And
ain't no
chill.
way.
And chill, like I said this week on the panel, I'm all here for that. Like, I don't care who wins MVP really anyway. So like whatever's good for views, whatever's good for the league, I'm for it. If it's a little rigged, that's okay. As long as there's no blatant cheating on the basketball court, like like refs in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals and stuff like just stuff.
Is there a specific year you talking about, Ox? Or I just
no, I'm just throwing out just days and stuff like that. As long as there's no specific actual like cheating in the game, you know what I'm saying? Like refs doing anything bad reviews, anything like that. As long as that's not going on,
yeah,
I'm okay with a little script writing. I'm fine with a little maneuvering for views. I don't think I think the NBA has to do that, especially now. We're starting to realize, with all due respect, we understand that a lot of people that watch basketball don't really care much for the basketball as much as they care about the storyline. They're more here for that. You know what I mean? So give the fans what they want.
Stop acting like the script isn't important, because it is. It 100% is. I'm not gonna argue that.
Just real quick, Peace Warrior. I did not say that refs don't matter. That's not what I said. I said that one call in the third quarter is just as important as one call in the second quarter. A call in the fourth quarter is just as important as a call in the second quarter. I never said refs don't matter. I don't think that if a game goes wrong, you can point to a specific call or a specific missed call, because refs miss calls all the time. You know what I mean? They're humans, and until we put robots in there to refs, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We can't replay basketball games because one call. It's unfortunate, but hey, basketball's not a fair sport, y'all.
And Alex Dunn, just so you know, these how many games Tim Donaghy refed in that Western Conference Championship. These are how many games he refed in that. Now, two things could be true. He 100% had money on it. Let's be clear about that. Let's even though he didn't ref any of the games, he 100% had money on it. No doubt about that. We know that for a fact. He had money on it. So
my thing is, I don't really understand the correlation between that Pistons-Knicks game and the Lakers-Sac series. There's no correlation right there. I know you're trying to find the correlation, but there isn't. It's you know what I'm saying? The FBI investigated the series for a reason, and I don't know. I can guarantee you there's going to be no suits in Detroit investigating that call. You know, I can guarantee you that. But either way, let's get back to a couple super chats. Let me see. Let's start at the top. Random Guy Speaks says, shout out Ox and OG. I need to pull up today. I got some questions for y'all. By the way, these playoffs have been so much fun. Oh, hashtag chill with chill, best show on PC.
I think the unpredictability has been the most fun. The Boston Celtics Knicks series, wrong. The Indiana Cleveland series, wrong. I might be right with Oklahoma. Actually, no, I'm not. Oklahoma City, Denver, wrong. I had Oklahoma City beating them in 6 games, wrong. So, I mean, the unpredictability of this playoffs has just kept us on the edge of our seats. Me in particular. So, it's been something really special, no doubt. This is the best season that I've ever seen, to be honest with you. I'll be lying if I said I didn't.
Definitely.
This is the best season I've ever seen.
I really enjoyed these playoffs. The whole regular season was up and down for me. It was up and down. It was a roller coaster ride for me this season. But these playoffs have been amazing, and I have no complaints. I'm sorry I got to address this, y'all, because this is a very sensitive subject for me. I'm sorry. But yo, peace warrior. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Have you ever heard of a word called conspiracy? Have you ever heard of a charge called conspiracy? That's the difference here. Conspiracy, okay? And if you don't know what conspiracy means, I'm sure you do. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm pretty sure you know what it means. So think about that for a second. There was a clear conspiracy and there was collusion. This was just a spur of the moment. We missed the call. There is no conspiracy in there. You know, did you know that conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor is a felony?
Yes.
You know, a conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor is a felony. So just think about that for a second, y'all. Conspiracy. Think about it. But anyways, shout out to Random Guy Speaks. And if you want to get up here today, Random Guy, don't worry about it. I'm about to drop the link here in a couple minutes. All you gotta do is click on that.
Mm-hmm. I can dig that. I did not know that though, Ox. A conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor. So if we get a bunch of people put together to commit a misdemeanor, that's a felony. I did not know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Sports PSP says, if OKC wins a ring, where would you rank Sam Presti as an executive?
He's one of the best executives in the league as it is, but am I putting him up there with like Red Auerbach and Jerry Ryan, not Jerry Ryan, so Jerry Krause, Jerry Krause, like the all-time greats? I'm not going that far. I am saying that he's one of the best GMs in terms of drafting, because you got to get it right when you're in Oklahoma City. You have to get it right in the draft, because nobody's coming to Oklahoma City. It's going to be, I'm not going to say nobody, because you got Hartenstein in free agency. It's going to be difficult to get guys to come to Oklahoma City in free agency. So you got to get it right in the draft. And when you get it right in the draft and you show that I'm building something here, well, Oklahoma City now becomes more attractive than it would have been if you were just a middle of the road team. No. So I think he's done a great job, but am I putting him in the same, category with guys like Red Auerbach and, Jerry Krause and, Bob Myers and Greg Popovich, guys like that, I forgot the guy's name that was in Phoenix. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name, but there's plenty of GMs like Jerry West. I'm not putting him in that category. No, I'm not going that far. Mm-mm.
I would have to say that Sam Presti is already one of the top guys. Obviously, like you said, you named some names that you would put ahead of him, right? But my thing is, he did his job. You know what I mean? He found diamonds in the rough. He got good draft picks. He's done his job, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is on Dagenhart. It's on the players actually executing the schemes and whatnot. So I think Sam Presti has done an amazing job. I have nothing negative I could possibly say about Sam Presti and his GMing abilities. He's done a great job in OKC. So wait, Sam Presti, he drafted everybody except KD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he got Russ, Harden, Ibaka,
all of them dudes, and then tore it down, and then got all these other guys too. So yeah,
right. Yeah, Sam Presti did a great job.
Ox, what it sounds to me like, it sounds to me like, Ox, that I got the groceries, now you cook it. That's what it sounds like to me. I got everything that you need necessary. I can get the tomatoes, I get the lettuce, here's the steak, here's all that other stuff. Here you go. And
not only did he get the groceries, Chill, he went and he put in the footwork and did his due diligence. He didn't just order no groceries off of Instacart, which is nothing wrong with that, shout out Instacart. But you know what I'm saying? He was going to the farmers markets, you know what I mean? Getting good organic veggies, making sure they were farm grown. I'm talking about farm to fork. You know what I mean? Like Sam Presti, he went in there and did a great job. He didn't just say, "Oh yeah, let me get whatever lettuce you got, just throw it in the basket." No. He went there and he selected it and did a great job.
Sam Presti went in the farmer's market and this tomato's good. You throwing this out? Yeah, I'll take this. Yeah, you don't want this one? Let me take this. Yeah, this is a good one. I can work with this. There's no way you're throwing this meat away. Okay, I'll take this too. Yep, no doubt.
Right. Man. Teddy Hart said Tibbs still didn't learn his lesson from having D Rose in the game after it was sealed.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did take those guys out of the game yesterday. Let's be clear. It wasn't like he played them the whole game. He did end up taking them out. I mean, PJ Tucker got some run last night. So he did take those guys out of the game. So let's chill out on that, right? He did do that.
PJ. Shout out PJ. That was dope to see him get on the floor. Teddy Hart with another super chat. Shout out you, Teddy. He says, and I was interested about this. I'm happy you said that, because I meant to ask you about this show, because I'll keep hearing people talk about is MJ going to start announcing or whatever. So I didn't know anything about this. So I'm curious about what's going on. But anyways, Teddy Hart said, Did y'all hear about the Elliot Barnes article via Medium detailing MJ's motivation for joining NBC? If not, please skim through it after the show. I applaud MJ if it's true. Chill, do you know anything about this? What he's talking about? What he's referring to?
I don't know much about it, but I do know that his first interview is with Shannon Sharp. I know that for a fact. Him and Shannon Sharp are going to sit down and talk, which I think is fantastic.
Like on the couch with the cognac. And
Yes, exactly like that.
Shannon got MJ.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, they're gonna sit down. Yes, sir. They're gonna sit down and they're gonna talk. I'm loving every bit of that. And the reason why I'm loving every bit of that is because I want to hear, to be honest with you, I want to hear Jay's thoughts. The thing I want to hear most about Jay is I want to hear Jay talk basketball. Like, we keep forgetting, like Jordan as a basketball player, how smart he is. And the whole GOAT debate and him and LeBron James, I think that's great for views, but more than anything, like, he's going to be a contributor. I want to hear him dissect plays and talk about players. I do want to hear him talk about the game and zone defenses and like what's the difference between zone defense today and what it was in 1987? And you played against the zone when you were in college, and you played against where you played against defenses where, you know, it's much different today than what it was in 1992. So I want to, more than anything, I want to hear Jay talk the game. Like, this whole GOAT debate, I think that's been beat to death. And I do think that, you know, he's going to speak on it, but I think that his motivation, I think his motivation more than anything is to get people to know that he knows the game. And I think I feel like that's the most important part, because I want to hear him talk the game.
That's what's up. Shannon Sharp's the new Barbara Walters.
Why you bullshitting, huh? Why you bullshitting? With NBC,
Shannon on Barbara Walters status, man. Hell yeah. My only thing, Chill, is what's gonna kill me is that I'm gonna have to listen to people, with all the respect, that don't know shit about actually playing basketball, that don't know a damn thing about what it's like being between those lines. I'm gonna have to listen to these dudes tell me MJ don't know ball. I'm gonna have to listen to that, Chill. We're all gonna have to hear that. Did y'all hear what MJ said about this and what you should do in that situation? Oh, he doesn't know shit. He doesn't know nothing about no ball. Oh my God, that's gonna kill me. But I'm happy to see it. I would love to see MJ up here, you know, talking ball and doing all these things, man. That's dope.
I'm very interested in that. Definitely interested in that. So, and Dub, just so you know, Dub, just because I can't run a franchise, just because I'm not great at running a franchise, does not mean that I don't know basketball. Come on, Dub, don't do that. Those two things are not the same. Those two things are not close to the same. Just because I can't run a first class, just because I don't run an organization, that doesn't mean that I don't know basketball and know how to dissect plays or how to run offenses or how to understand zone defense. That doesn't mean that I don't know basketball. So those two things are not the same. No, we ain't doing that, Dub. No, we not.
Dub. No,
we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that.
Oh man, that's hilarious, Dub. I was not expecting that. Teddy Hart says, Presti, yes, I'm biased, up there with the other names because they all had major markets that were attractive destinations to help their causes. If he was in Boston, Chicago, LA, San Francisco, etc., he'd definitely be up there with the Jerry West and company.
I don't know about that.
Well, no, you fight that too?
I think to be honest with you, I think it's when you are in bigger markets, I think it's even more difficult to get guys because it's expected. So when you are with the Lakers, it's expected for you to get LeBron James. If you're in Chicago, if you're in Boston, you're expected to get these guys. But and I feel like that's where the work ends up going by the wayside. That's why the Celtics sucked for as long as they did. That's why the Lakers were as bad for as long as they were, because it's just expected, not realizing that, you know, it's 2022, it's 2021. These kids don't care about Magic Johnson in 1987. They don't care about they don't care about Larry Bird in 1986. That was 30 years ago. They don't care about that. They don't care about that. And a lot of these organizations, because you're in a bigger market, they just expect it. Well, we the Lakers, so we're just going to get guys. We're Duke, you know, we're North Carolina, so we're just gonna get guys. No, I think that it means more him doing it in Oklahoma City because the legwork has to be put in more than it would be in other spaces. Off the strength that not only is it not expected, I got to turn this into something. If I'm in Los Angeles, this is already here, and it's expected for me to bag Luka in free agency. It's expected for me to bag Anthony Edwards in free agency. It's expected for me to bag Anthony Edwards in Miami in free agency, or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in free agency. It's expected for me to do that because we're the Lakers, because we're the Celtics. And if you found out that SGA ended up re-upping in Oklahoma City as opposed to going to South Beach, you'd be like, damn, that's pretty impressive that he's doing his job down there. If you found out that SGA went to Miami, you'd be like, well, it's Miami. If you found out that he went to Los Angeles, like, well, it's the Lakers. This is what they do. This is how they get lucky, stuff like that. So, no, I think it's a little bit different.
I mean, this whole time I've been kind of thinking in my head, going back and forth about that, because I think Teddy Hart made a good point. You know, like, I can understand. Well, I can go play in LA. I can live in LA. You know, I see that. Miami. So I personally love Dallas, you know, certain cities like that. But more important to me than that is kind of like, what's the tax situation in this state? You're gonna be like, what's that about? I want to know that, because honestly, and mind you, I think I've said it enough times on this platform, I'm not a fan of Oklahoma City as a city. I've been there enough times and I don't plan on going back, right? But when you're as rich as these NBA players are, when you got this type of money, I don't really think that matters so much. You know what I mean? Because it's like during the season, the only thing that would make it matter is if I'm, you know, if I got a family and it's like, okay, my kids have got to go to this school. Like, what's the school system like? My wife got to be here more often. Because for me, I'm like 9 months out of the year, I'm either in the gym or traveling to go to another gym to play basketball. I'm not going to really be, you know, out like that anyway. I'm going to be so focused on my craft. And then by that time, when it's the off season, I can live where I want. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go live down in South Beach and work. You know, I can work out there. I can have you know, find training staff there. You know what I mean? So to me, that never really mattered. And I don't know. I've never experienced it. I've never played in the NBA, but just kind of just the way it seems to me. You know. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm about to send this link out, y'all.
Real quick, Ox. To my man in the chat, LX AR, Shai was in LA until the Clippers decided to waste their future on Paul George. I can promise you, LX, during that time, if you don't make that trade, you're fired. You're 100% fired. Now, I understand what you're looking at when you see Shai today and what he has become, but in 2019, 2020, when Paul George is available and Kawhi Leonard is available, if you don't trade a second-year guy who you don't know what he's going to be for a guy who just came off of winning an NBA championship and another guy who was first-team All-NBA and first-team All-Defense, you are getting fired. I promise you that. You're getting fired.
Yeah, man. Hindsight's an MFer. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Y'all can say that now, but at the time, man, y'all know how y'all felt about Paul George.
Yes, 100%.
And on top of that, it's not even so much, well, it is a big thing about Paul George, but it's more so about the fact that Kawhi Leonard, like, if we don't make this trade, we don't get Kawhi. You make the trade.
And Doc really didn't want to. He saw what he saw in SGA. He saw it. He thought SGA was going to be something special. And I understand that. But at that time, okay, a second-year guy who I'm hoping is going to turn into something, and I think he will, as opposed to the finals MVP who's 29 years old, and I think he's got some more years left in him at this level. I'm going right here. I'm sticking with this guy 100%.
Right. And yeah, to your point, I think Doc, I think anybody that probably spent some time around SGA, they probably knew that the young fellow was going to be good. They probably seen him being good, but that's why they had to trade him, because okay, he was like, oh, we'll take him. You know, he's a baller. But nobody, I guarantee you, nobody thought SGA was going to be at this level. And I'm gonna tell you this, like I said it before, Chill, a big thing. Now, SGA, I'm not trying to take any credit away from him, but I want to show Chris Paul a little love here. Mm-hmm. I do think Chris Paul set SGA off. I think Chris Paul, when you see how players play with Chris Paul as opposed to how they were playing the season before, you could tell Chris Paul is teaching.
Oh, absolutely. He
Chris
is.
Paul is teaching. He is pointing things out to these young fellas. He had DeAndre Ayton, and I still think DeAndre Ayton's a good basketball player.
I do
but
too.
I think that year with DeAndre Ayton, I think DeAndre Ayton was learning things, learning how to get open, learning how to move his body. I think Devin Booker played much better. And then the Spurs, I think he had an impact on the Spurs this season as well. I didn't see much of an impact in Golden State, but that was a I was a different look.
We kind of already got it figured out over here in Golden State. We do, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But I've always equated it, Ox, to Ox brought me into his garage, and Ox got this Porsche here, he's got this Rolls Royce here, he's got this Bentley here, but tucked over there in that corner, he got a Ferrari that he don't want me to see, and he hopes that I don't see it. He knows that if I see it, I'm going to ask for it, and that's what it was with SGA. Where Doc was hoping that you didn't ask for him because he knew he had something. But I know that if you ask for it, I'm going to have to hand it over. So I was hoping you didn't ask for it, but here you go.
There you go. You got it. I sent out the link. The link is in the chat 2 times. So I'm not sending it out again, y'all. Click that link. Get in the lobby. I will get to y'all in just a minute. First, I want to talk about the Eastern Conference Finals. That's the title of the show. Chill, I believe that the Knicks Pacers was probably one of the better rivalries that we've seen. You know what I'm saying? Especially like back in the 90s, and specifically back in the 90s. Before we talk about them today and what's going to happen next week when that series starts, Chill, do you care to speak on the older rivalry between these two basketball clubs?
Well, in the 90s, they saw each other in the Eastern Conference semifinals and the Eastern Conference finals 4 times in 6 years. So they saw them in 94 in the East. They saw them they saw them in 95. They saw them in 98, and they saw them in 99. Right. So with that, not 99, I'm sorry, in 99 and in the 99-2000 season, so it's 4 times that they saw them in the playoffs. And these playoffs, these two teams were basically mirrors of each other, which kind of goes back to your logic where you're looking at this Indiana team and you're looking at this Knicks team and you think that this Knicks team should handle this Indiana team because essentially they're a better version of the Indiana Pacers. Everything that the Pacers do, we're just a better version of that. But I made the mistake of doing that with Cleveland because I felt like everything that you guys are good at, everything that you guys do, Cleveland does it. Like there is no difference in style of play between these two teams, only except with the Indiana Pacers, I feel like their depth is going to be the difference in this series, right? So when I saw these guys in the 90s with Reggie Miller going up against John Starks and Charles Oakley and Ewing and Anthony Mason on the front line going against the Davis guys, those two guys, it was a gritty, forceful rivalry. And rivalries aren't rivalries until somebody loses. Like I've never been a fan of the idea that, this is a rivalry. Well, it's not a rivalry if I beat you 5 times and you never beat me. That's not a rivalry. So that's ownership. But these two teams, they were beating each other. The Pacers beat them in 95. The Knicks beat them in the East Finals in 99. The Pacers beat them in the East Finals in 2000, right? So the Knicks beat them in 94. In the semifinals. So this is 100% turned into a rivalry. With that being said, this is now, I feel like, because it's not as rugged, but because it's not as rugged, that doesn't mean that it's not as entertaining in terms of basketball. Because if I look at this New York Knicks team and I look at this Indiana team, I see an Indiana team, because Ox, you and I disagree on this. I see an Indiana team that doesn't have to do as much to get what they're trying to get as New York does. I think that New York has to exert more energy because they don't use as many of their guys as Indiana does. Indiana uses 8-9 guys to get what they're trying to get in terms of transition buckets in their half court when they're playing defense. I feel like the Knicks get the same thing, except they have to use less guys, and I feel like they got to exert more energy. And the fact that they play as fast as they do, I think that that's going to come back to bite the Knicks when we get later on in this series.
And when is game 1 is on Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
5 days.
So everybody gets some rest. Everybody gets some rest.
And the words of my man Big Ox, go put your feet up, yo. Go put your feet up, man. Go chill out.
Man, chill. Tibbs got them dudes running stadiums right now.
We watch it go. We was in practice for an hour and a half yesterday or today. We in practice for an hour and a half running. Like Tibbs is not letting up on us. He not. Damn.
Tibbs got them dudes running suicides right now as we
real.
speak.
Tomorrow we got practice too. We ain't got the day off tomorrow. Sunday, nope. 10 o'clock we gotta be here.
Get to the facility, fellas.
Yes,
I'm curious though, Chill. Who punches who first? Like it's a bunch of rah. Who's gonna get off first? Like who's gonna be the team to you're talking? I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. Who gets punched first? Who's doing the punching?
I think Indiana punches first, and I think Indiana punches because it's gonna be one of the other guys who punches first. But with them punching, I think the Knicks come back, and I think the Knicks punch back, and I think that they punch harder. I think this is going to be a dogfight, Ox. I do. I think this is going to be a dogfight. We're going to see some guys that are beat up. We're going to see some guys that are bruised. We're going to see some guys that are battered. I think we're looking at one of those Eastern Conference wars, like one of these 6-7 game wars that we've seen in the past. It's just basketball, and it's not dirty basketball. Let's make sure we clear on that, Ox. It's not anything malicious. It's just basketball where it's reminded me of the '93 East Finals, where I vividly remember watching the '93 East Finals, and the thing that I saw that was vivid to me the most was there were no kids on the floor, and that's what's going on in this. This is an adult series, Ox. Mm-hmm. This is big boys. This is big boy basketball here, and if you're not an adult, you can come sit right over here and watch. This is big boy basketball over here. Yes, sir.
You better go sit at that kiddie table, eat some hot dogs.
That's exactly what you better do. These are the adults here.
No doubt. Well, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see how it goes. You already know I got the Knicks. I got the Knicks in 5, maybe 6. Maybe 6. I don't see Indiana being able to get with these dudes. No disrespect to Indiana. I already talked about that on Thursday. You know how I felt about it. But yeah, that's that, man. Y'all make sure to tap into that. Make sure to tap in tomorrow to Game 7 and see who is going to be facing the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference. But now we get to the point of the show where we get into the lobby. We're going to kick this off with my main man, Big Dub. What up, Dub?
Yo, what's good, fellas?
Dub C.
How y'all feeling, bro?
What up, Dub C?
Yo, bro, it's been a great year, right? 2025 has been phenomenal.
The best I ever seen, Dub. The best I ever seen.
In the beginning, it was a bit shaky, a bit boring, but after that Luka trade, it's been nonstop, correct?
Ox told us Nico threw a stink bomb in the room.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Nico saved the season.
So listen, right? Nico did actually save the season, ironically, right? And this is where I'm thinking, right? Because I'm pretty sure y'all talked about this, but I haven't really seen it like that. Y'all think it was rigged? Y'all think the draft was rigged?
I don't.
Y'all don't think it was rigged?
I don't.
Me personally, right? I'm a bit of a conspiracy guy, right? Bob, I see you shaking your head. So in my head,
well, I'm not saying it's not, Dub. I don't know if rigged is the right proper word.
It was set up.
What?
Yeah, it was set up for me at least because, and again, there's really no way to prove this, right? But if you really think about it, the NBA at that point in time was definitely going through some viewership issues, and it was just becoming very stale, right? So having one of your hottest young stars in the market like the LA franchise with LeBron James is great. But then what's going to be the extra step to really push that deal? Cooper Flag. You feel me? So that's where it's like, to me, it just looks too fishy for me, you know? But in my mind, like, if they did set that up, like, why are we mad at the NBA? Like, why are people upset about that? Because at the end of the day, there's so much like that. We just said it. That caused it all. And now there's so much more things being talked about. And that was really the start of it. Bro, they brought the league back alive because the league was going to a very stale place, man. So am I really mad at a corporation for really doing something like that? I wouldn't. I think it's great.
If it was rigged, why rig it for Dallas? Why not rig it? Why not? Because if you look at this team that they got, let's just say
because they got Luka.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's just say for the sake of argument that they don't win the draft lottery, right? Let's just say for the sake of argument that they come back with the unit that they got. They're going to get Kyrie later on in the season. If you look at this unit, even before Kyrie got hurt, there were some of us who were looking at this Dallas team like they got a shot at getting to the finals. They're that good. So if that's the case, why rig it for them? Why not rig it? Why even with the Luka trade? Why rig it? Why rig it for somebody? Why not rig it for not Charlotte or anybody like that? No, because Charlotte is one of those teams that you expect them to win the lottery. You expect Utah to win the lottery, right? So why not rig it for a bigger market? Even though Dallas is a big city, but why not rig it for a bigger market?
It's not about the location. It's about the player, right? So Luka Doncic, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Luka Doncic is really basically like he's his own market.
Sure.
If we're gonna be honest, he is his own market. So Luka being one of the biggest stars doesn't really seem like Giannis was gonna work. Jokic isn't as marketable as people want to admit. I'm gonna be honest. Like he's really not. He's really not. He's one of the best players, but he's really not. We just got to be real with that.
If you're not a basketball purist, you don't really care much about Joker, like as you do about Steph Curry or as you do about.
Yeah, I mean, even his jersey sales, it's not all the way up there, right?
Right.
So it's really the player. So who at that point in time had availability, especially with the organization kind of having some issues with Luka Doncic because of his health? Well, Dallas, and that's who they pulled the trigger. So it's not so much about the corporation and the market that Dallas was. It's about, okay, we need this high market player in one of our biggest markets right here. So now we could really pull in as much money from LeBron as possible with his time in LA.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But
that also sounds to me like, Dub, that sounds to me like moving Luka to Los Angeles is a benefit for Los Angeles. Now, as opposed
it's a benefit for the league.
Yes, I don't get me, because now you tap into a different market. You tap into a European market in Los Angeles specifically that you didn't have when you were in Dallas. I can get with that. But as far as Dallas, which, if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I think Dallas is the third largest city in America. Now I think there's New York.
I'm not too familiar with it.
Is it New York, LA, Chicago, top three.
Okay, so Chicago. So like I said, if that's the case, I mean, you got this. I feel like you got the star power in Dallas. I mean, because Kyrie Irving is one of the biggest draws in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
People love Kyrie Irving, 100%, right? Cooper Flag, this kid that's coming out of high school. I mean, the hype about him. I mean, would it be more celebrated for him to be in Dallas, or would it be more celebrated for him to be in Chicago or in?
But
New York
that adds so much more, and that's why, like, even if it is rigged, I don't know, but even if it is rigged, I think it's an amazing move from the NBA, because now, at the end of the day, I don't care what anyone says, either good or bad. If your brand is being talked about, it pushes the brand no matter what. So even if everyone's so upset, oh yeah, their rig is bringing so much attention that it's not really confirmed if it really is or not. So therefore, we're still able to bring as much attention to us. And with Cooper Flag being on that, bro, I'm not gonna lie, like Dallas next year, if everyone stays healthy, like this could be a team that could win a chip next year. It really could.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I really feel like they are that good. I do. I really feel like they're that good. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, and
all right, Dub.
Last thing, just about Boston and everything. Yo, chill. The last time I was here, you remember what I told you, bro? I think you agreed. I told you how everyone was saying how Boston was automatically going to win it. Everyone's saying that KP was going to be fine. Everyone was saying, despite Boston going through like one of their worst seasons in recent memory, bro, they just act as if this was like the 2018 Warriors and that they were going to make it to the chip, man. And look what happened. Bro, New York is going crazy. New Jersey's going crazy right now, fam. Fam, it is wild out here, bro. Yo, fam. And we were
I'm actually afraid, to be honest with you, Dub. To be honest with you, Dub, I'm actually afraid because, like, if the Knicks win the championship, I think they'll burn New York City to the ground, yo. I do.
Fam, they only got past the second round, and they were
and they rioted. They rioted.
Bro, they're climbing.
They're going crazy. Burn New York to the top. For real.
Oh, I want y'all to know right now, as we speak, Jewel Lloyd is on the same court as Asia Wilson in the same jersey. Okay, right now, as we speak, the game is about to start. We got Jewel Lloyd and Asia Wilson on the same basketball team. I just want to point that out there, let y'all know that tip off is happening right now. And those rings that they just gave to Liberty are as big as my fist. That's a huge ring.
Nah, so yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy in the Northeast, man. It's very lit over here. I'm always very excited if either Philly or the Knicks are winning because it's good to see everybody going crazy. But yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm happy to say that a lot of people were wrong this year.
Yeah,
I'm so
be like
happy to
that.
say that. And Jokic,
I
at
was.
last, and people remember that stuff Ticket used to always say about Jokic playing in the 2000. He wouldn't be able to get things off like he used to.
Mm-hmm.
There may be some validity to that. I'm not going to hold you, but we can hold that.
Maybe, definitely. But
There
all right,
may
Doug, appreciate
be.
you pulling up, fam. We're gonna keep it moving. Shout out to you. Hey,
Be
be safe out there, man. They win that championship. It's going. You better stay indoors, Doug.
Oh, bro,
does-
come on.
it-
I was outside for less, but
no doubt.
I was
All right,
outside
It
for less.
doesn't
But I
help too
stopped
that
going outside.
New Jersey Transit is on strike too. That's wild as hell.
Yo, fam. So it's making it. Oh, chill. So
yeah. We got to go though.
I know we got to keep
got
it moving
this
though. I know we got to keep it moving.
Appreciate
Be
you,
easy,
man.
Dub. Good to talk to you, brother.
Good to see.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. The tip off happened. We got Goat Wilson on the court. What Jewel Lloyd? This is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Ace is coming for that ring this year. Let's go. All right, who we got next? We had Cowboy Bob. What's up, Cowboy?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing, man?
Yo.
I just gotta say this, and don't disrespect the voice, but y'all will know who I'm talking like. Oh yeah, you say New York is burning, but it's not because we got Brooklyn fans to the right and Brooklyn fans to the left. We didn't need them when we were in the Eastern Conference Finals, but we never needed them then, and we don't need them now. Let their ass stay over there. Brooklyn fans, where y'all at now, man? Y'all jumped me on Thursday. All y'all, I told y'all. Remember what I said earlier when we traded for Cat? This team is moving up to the Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody listens to Cowboy. The last 3 years I've been right about my team. Every little thing I've been saying, I have been right about my damn team, and I get no respect. But you know what? I don't give a damn. Bronx is burning. I'm happy as hell. We won, and we actually blew them out. I didn't even expect that. That whole game, the way we played, like I told you, that's how we need to play Indiana. Because the thing is when you're covering them like that and they miss a shot, look at what happened with Josh Hart. Josh Hart misses a free throw, grabs the board, gets a turnover, comes back, and then they get the block from McBride. They get it back down. He shoots a three, and then we're like, what is going on? All this stuff that was going on, it was on point. I'm just happy as hell. I know you guys got a good show to go to, but y'all know me. I'm just smiling and profiling. Y'all have a good one, man. Go New York, go New York, go. Oh, yeah.
Man, was not expecting Macho Man to pop up on us today. That's what's up, man. Cowboy is happy. He deserves to be happy. He's been riding with this team, and man, it's paying off. Shout out to the New York Knicks, man. Let's see who we got next. Let's keep this thing moving. Random guy said that he was getting on the show today, and he clicked the link. What's up, Random? What's up?
What's good? It's been too long. It's been too long.
What up?
I'm calling in. I'm gonna let the East do their thing. You know, it's about time they win something over there. Let me stop. You know, we in LA. We live a little different. You know, we win a little bit more in California. Ox, you already know.
Yeah, no doubt.
So obviously, you know, I've been watching a lot. You already know I'm a casual. I'm always gonna say that, but I want to see if y'all think I'm crazy. Is it crazy that I think the Minnesota Timberwolves should be so excited that I think they should come out the West and win it all?
They looking at OKC like they food, yo. Don't think they not looking at OKC like they food. They are.
They have this ability. Like, I think it was like game 3 or game 4 of the when they're playing the Warriors, and I'm like watching 5 minutes of some of the worst basketball. Like the ball just flying everywhere. Like Jimmy Butler thrown out of bounds. Steph, like some of y'all, I'm like, what are y'all doing? Y'all don't play the game like this. And Minnesota has this ability to just make people play, like, for lack of better words, idiotic basketball. Like you just, and they match up with everybody very well. And I'm sitting there like, I'll be personally, obviously, I hope the Nuggets win. I think what your Joker's doing is magnificent. But Joker, you win. Ain't no way you go somehow find a way to beat Oklahoma City, and you got Nas Reed, Ant, like that bully on the playground, like, come on over. Come on over. We got something for you. But I just want to see. I think short of, you can say OKC's a better team than them, but I think the Timberwolves should be number 2 and a very close number 2 to winning it all. How do y'all feel about that?
I had picked Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals. I had picked after picking Minnesota earlier in the year. I mean, they didn't look like they could get back to the finals. Get back to the Western Conference Finals. I had picked Oklahoma City in the NBA championship. Now Boston is out. Oklahoma City's still in it. I had picked them to win this series in 6. I'm still picking them to win the series. And if they're still in it, they are my favorites. Yep.
I'm telling you, from the moment obviously they beat the Lakers, I was like, if I get New York, if I get OKC, Minnesota, I'm so excited to see how both coaches like are gonna handle that with just the matchups and all that. But the other question I had real quick was the NBA just couldn't resist, couldn't they? I'm not saying it's rigged. I'm not gonna say that because why would they rig it?
You can say it. Is that
no,
because
that's idiotic. That's idiotic that a team would do that. That's but like they just couldn't resist. It just had to work out that Dallas gets the first pick. It just had to work out.
Could that have been a coincidence? Yes or no? I don't believe in coincidences. I'm one of these people that doesn't believe in coincidences, but could it just been by chance? Because that's what the lottery is. Isn't that correct? The lottery is exactly that.
I just feel, who I feel bad for, like Washington. When's the last time Washington had like a great player? I'm like, Washington can't get nobody.
I mean, they got John Wall, and they ended up getting.
Okay, look, obviously John Wall, great Dougie, the bro could score. Obviously, you can take him out, but I'm like, we talking Cooper Flags there, and if always, at least for me, since I've really started paying attention to basketball, like Washington ain't got no love. You could give him Cooper and just give him somebody.
Random, I have no reason to believe that Cooper Flag is going to be better than John Wall. John Wall was amazing. I have no reason to say, oh, Cooper Flag is going to be better than John. No reason to believe that at all.
Okay, I'm just asking, but fellas, it's fine. I'm trying not to be a stranger. You know how it is. I'm busy, all that. But if Minnesota is standing at the end of this season holding the championship, I want y'all to say, look. I know y'all said it, but this just me. It's like it just makes so much sense. I really don't know who's going to win the championship. To the championship, we see Ant holding it up, and obviously Riddell dying because Rudy got a championship.
That's
I forgot about that. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Take care of yourself, fellas.
Yep. Yo, man, Riddell was gonna be pissed.
Love that.
Me too. Real quick, let me see. I know I said I wasn't gonna send the link out again, but my man Teddy Hart asked for the link. I gotta send it to Teddy, right? Teddy, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, brother. What's going on?
Not much, man. Y'all by now know I'm a OKC stan, but I'm gonna try to be unbiased here. Chill. I think that OKC is going to definitely win a championship within the next 3 years, if not this year. I think they are going to make a major move this offseason, but I think Presti is smart enough not to touch his core. But that's kind of like where I'm just kind of waiting to see. And I'm really curious of how good Nikola Topic is going to be. I know he was an international player. We haven't gotten to see him yet. But I think it's one of those assets that kind of, everybody kind of forgot about. But he was projected to be top 5, right?
Yes.
But slipped because of the ACL. But with modern technology, it's not what it used to be. So just looking forward to that. But
that's why I'm calling up. That's why if I'm the Miami Heat, I'm calling up the Oklahoma City Thunder. Hand over the kid. You don't need him. Hand him over.
But what you gonna get for him?
What you want? And he probably won't cost that much.
Probably not.
Yeah, he probably.
The only other point I'm gonna make before I get out of here, because I know y'all short on time.
Yep.
Tibbs, and I already left the super chat about this, but I think Tibbs and Carlisle coaching matchup. I think Carlisle's gonna smoke his boots. I don't think Tibbs is a good coach, but he's not a tactician. And I like tech. Rick Carlisle is like one of the best tacticians I've ever seen, and I think Tibbs just knows how to. He's like old school. He'll ride his guys, but I think Carlisle's going to drag him out into the deep water. Their pace is already ridiculous, and Tibbs goes with what he knows. And I don't think he has a second or third, move. I think he just knows what he knows, and that's what he's going to do.
I love that whole casual thing. I mean, I love that whole dragging them out to the deep end of the water. I love that because I think that's very realistic. 100% that's realistic. We could do that. Drag these dudes out to the deep end of the water and drown them, no doubt.
Absolutely. Y'all take care. Take care, man.
All right, Teddy. Appreciate you.
All right, yo.
Let's see. Let's keep this thing moving. Let's bring Neff up to the stage and see what he got to say. What up, Neff?
Yo, what's good, y'all?
What's up, brother?
Okay. Haven't been up here in a while. I'm in Milwaukee. I'm a Milwaukee diehard Bucks fan. Got to talk about my team real quick. It's super sad in the city right now because we all kind of know Giannis is on, I don't want to say the trade block, but like it's obvious that a big move might happen this offseason. I want to get your opinion, Chill. Where do you think the best spot for Giannis would be? And what type of like trade package do you think is like acceptable?
So if we're moving off of Giannis, I want him to play somewhere where he's playing fast. I want him to play somewhere where he's going to have the ball in his hands. I want him to play somewhere where he's got another viable 5-man next to him, where he can get on the glass, where he can be a defender, where he can roam, because I think that's where he is the most effective. I think that's Miami, but they're not going to be able to keep. They're not going to keep Khalil Ware. I also think it's Indiana, but they would have to give up way more to get him.
No, we have too much beef with Indiana. There's no way we're doing the trade with them.
And then the other team that I'm thinking is Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Atlanta, I like Atlanta.
That's who I'm thinking. I'm thinking Atlanta. But the question is if I'm Milwaukee, you got to come off Dyson Daniels. You have to come off of him. There's no way that I'm handing over Giannis without Dyson Daniels being a part of that package. No way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all want if they want Dyson Daniels, Chill, that makes me believe that they would also want Keegan Murray.
I don't hate him in Sacramento neither. Mm-mm. But I think Dyson Daniels is better than Keegan Murray, though. I do. I think Dyson Daniels is better. I think Dyson Daniels is better. I'm taking Dyson Daniels over Keegan Murray. Yes, I am. Just as a defender, he is much more attractive to me than Keegan Murray because he's more consistent than Keegan Murray is. So
yeah, and he can handle the ball. Like he's a really good guard.
Mm-hmm.
Keegan Murray is like Chill said, inconsistent. Sometimes he's a really good shooter, but sometimes he'll have nights it's not going his way.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so I'm thinking the Spurs though. Like,
let's be clear about one thing: the NBA is not letting that happen. They're not. You want to talk about rigged? Adam Silver is not letting Giannis on the same front line with Wemby. He's not trying to hear that.
No.
So now what happens? Okay, so Giannis moves to the Western Conference. Tell everybody here today, and it's October of 2024-25. It's 25-26. Who's the best player in the Eastern Conference?
Well, Tatum's going to be out next year.
Gone. Joel Embiid beat up.
Yeah,
Giannis.
exactly.
That's Giannis.
He's gone. Though.
Oh, if he's gone,
He's gone.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's gone.
Jalen Brunson. I have
Jalen
Brunson.
Yes, Jalen Brunson.
Adam Silver ain't trying to hear that. No, he's not trying to hear that. No,
that is such a good point. I have not thought about that.
Hell no, is he trying to hear that? You think the Eastern Conference was? You think it was the least in conference then? So the best players in the league. So Joker, Giannis,
SGA,
Luka, SGA, Anthony Davis, James, KD. That's 7 guys. They all in the West.
Oh my God! Giannis is carrying the East right now.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
Hell no, is Adam Silver going for that? Hell no.
Whoa.
Hell no, is he going for that? No.
Okay, interesting.
No.
Like, what about the opposite side though? Like, wouldn't it be interesting if you had all the great players in one conference that they're playing each other more often? You know what I mean? You would see Joker versus Giannis more. You would see like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Now what has to happen, Ox, is now what has to happen, Ox, is now we got to get rid of the Eastern Conference, Western Conference thing when we go to the 16-team proposed thing that you talked about.
Yeah. We need that regardless. No matter what happens with Giannis,
now we got to do that now.
Yeah. But all right, Neff, we got to keep it moving. I got super chats to read. Only got a couple
Yes,
minutes left. Appreciate you, brother.
Talk to you, brother. Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. No, I would hate that. I would hate everybody being in one conference. Even though it's already pretty much like that. I mean, I wish Embiid could stay healthy. I mean, Jason Tatum, what just happened with him is so unfortunate. So, I mean, that's just kind of how it happens sometimes, though, man. That's a sport.
Yep.
But let's get to some of these super chats real quick. We got another super chat from Teddy Hart. Teddy Hart has sent about 15 super chats today. Shout out to him. I believe Teddy Hart is a GOAT member, isn't he? A Hall of Fame member. I mean, Hall of Fame. I believe. Yeah. Teddy Hart says, man, Carlisle about to smoke Tibbs' boots. Certified tactician versus someone who wins by running his guys into the ground. He'll drag the Knicks out to deep water. Teddy Hart did say that when he pulled up.
Yes, he did.
Appreciate the super chat. Rob Lowe been a member for 1 month. He says the draft ball process is on the YouTube channel. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all go check that out. Jaza became a YouTube member. Shout out to you, Jaza. No doubt. Let's see. Bob Wick. Defense wins championships, right? Won't be surprised if Boston checks Nico temp since they need to get off some players. Cough, cough, Drew and Son.
Well, Nico would check his temperature about Drew Holiday. If that, I don't think Boston is checking. I mean, because again, Drew Holiday has been the difference. If you think about it, you move Drew Holiday over to Milwaukee, they win the NBA championship. You move Drew Holiday over to Boston, they win the NBA championship. So it's not ridiculous to think that, and they are in need of a lead guard. That is going on right now. So
I brought up the Drew Holiday thing earlier this week, and somebody was saying that wouldn't be able to work out. I don't know why. I'm not sure.
Because of the money? Because I know he just signed an extension with them. Maybe it's because of the money.
Yeah, well, some way they need to see about Drew regardless. I think that's a great move for the Dallas Mavericks, and if they were to get Drew Holiday, I think they're definitely in contention for the West.
I do too.
Ray sent the super chat, said, "What's up, Chill? Being from the East Coast, how you feel about Joey Badass going at West Coast rappers?"
I love it, and I love the fact that, and what I don't like is I don't like the fact that Joey is the only one. I mean, I dig the fact that Kendrick, he made dudes get in the booth. Yo, step your pen game up. You nice, prove it. Because that's what this shit is really about. It's about competition. I ain't going to argue that. But what I don't like is I don't like the fact that it's just Joey. Like, all these West Coast rapping dudes is coming at Joey. Where the rest of y'all at? Are y'all scared? What's up with you dudes? You dudes say you nice. You dudes say you nice on the mic. Prove it. Because Joey Badass is like, I'm down to get it on with any one of you dudes. I'm right here. What about the rest of y'all dudes?
And also Joey is dope though, and then he also let it be known too. Like, yeah, he also, one thing too I like about Joey too is he said though, like this is rap though, y'all. This rap, you know what I'm saying? This hip hop.
No,
yeah, this hip hop, man. I want y'all to know that I'm better than y'all, but at the same time, man, this is music though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we rhyming. That's what we doing. No,
we not trying to have another East versus West type thing. You know what I'm saying? But as far as this rap thing go, I got something for y'all. I just want to let you know right here, Joey Badass, and all you other East Coast dudes know, y'all not ready.
Bring it, Ox. Bring it.
And I'm gonna just keep
bring it.
Like Random said, we live a little different out here.
Bring it, Ox. Bring it. 100% bring it. No doubt.
Let me see. Void Century said, "Man, where's the Grills show at?"
It's coming. It's coming. But it's not gonna be this because we ain't going nowhere. So
right. What was that? Oh, my man, Jason Grills. That's right. Right. Grills, man. Come on. Teddy Hart announced MVP at halftime tomorrow. That would be fire.
Not if it's SGA and they're down by 20. No, that's not gonna work. Or if they losing, no.
How's that? Oh, you can't foul a jump shooter. Go ahead, Jackie. Still, have you heard anything about Aaron Gordon? Are we just waiting until tomorrow to see what happens?
He's just doubtful. Yeah, he's doubtful. I don't think he's gonna play, Ox, to be honest with you. I don't think he's gonna go.
Well, I guess we'll be seeing Minnesota versus OKC, y'all. They're not winning without Aaron Gordon.
I don't think so neither.
Teddy Hart says Shea is Penny 2.0 without the early injuries.
No, he wasn't the athlete that Penny was. He ain't finished around the rim like Penny did. He wasn't the passer that Penny was. No, he's not.
Oh man, L host. I should have put this up when Dub was up there. Morning Bump says, "Oh shit, it's Dub. What up, Dub?
Dub C in the house. My man Dub C. What up?
Always good to see Dub. Oh shit. Clear on my line. Let's get
Damn, I just had to turn my phone off, Ox.
Yeah, man. We over 5 minutes
already. Damn.
Yeah. Claire usually gives us a 3-4 minute grace period, but 5 is too much. Red Hood said, "Do you think the 76ers trade the pick for Trae Young and get another center, or do they run it back with Bailey?
Why they trading to get Trae Young? They already got a lead guard. His name's Tyrese Maxey, and he's really, really good. So no,
Really
they're not doing that. They already got a lead guard, and they're straight with him. They just signed him to an extension. No.
Yeah, that's one thing. Tyrese Maxey is really good at basketball.
They got a really good lead guard right now. Really good. I think they're good with him.
Yeah. Well, I know we still got a full lobby, but y'all know how it goes, man. We got a certain amount of time. I would love to get everybody up. Make sure y'all click on the link. I'm gonna remember who's in here. I'll get y'all up first Thursday or next Saturday. In the meantime, I gotta go. I can't get reprimanded from Cheerio, and Go Wilson is playing basketball right now. So I'm gonna go watch some hoops. The W is back. Y'all make sure to check that out tomorrow. Game 7. Don't miss it. That's it, y'all. See y'all next time.
We will see you soon, guys. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. If you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, my man right here, he got you. Hit him up.
No doubt.
He'll make sure that you get home. We will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys today.
All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all on the panel on Monday, and we'll be back on Chill with Chill on Thursday. I know where to find us. We're not hard to find, man. Love yourself and never, ever, 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 ever drink and drive. We'll see y'all soon. Peace out.
Later.